grade. We're going to be doing lesson 20 today. So again, you're going to be dividing by two-digit numbers. So let's get started with number 1. So we're going to be dividing 72 divided by 21. For the first one, I'd like you to follow along with me. And then the next two, you'll try it and then fix it on your own. So for the first one, we'll zoom just a bit. We have 72 divided by 21. So I'll get started. Now remember, your first factor is the one that goes inside of your box. So 72 divided by 21. And I now need to think about 21 can fit into 72 how many times? So this is going to be a little bit different because usually you would have problems that say like 20 goes into 72. And it's really easy for you to multiply numbers like that. But it's a little bit different now. So you kind of have to think about like what 21 times maybe 3 would be, and if that could fit into 72. So it's not as easy for this one. So what I'm going to do is, so some of you, I've been telling you to write the multiplication symbol off to the side, because that reminds you that you have to do 21 times something to fit into 72. So I'm going to write like my multiples of 21 off to the side. So 21 times 1, which equals 21. I know I can do something bigger than that though. I can do 21 times 2. I know that 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 72. I might be able to do something bigger than that, though, so I'll try another one. I have 21 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6, so I have 63. And then you should know to stop right there, because you know that 63 is pretty much as close as you're going to get to 72, because if I were to do 21 times 4, the 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, and 84 is way too big, so that wouldn't work. So what I do is I take a look at this right here, and I see that 21 times 3 equals 63. So 21 times 3, I'll put a 3 up there, and I'm saying that 21 can go into 72 3 times. I know that 21 times 3 is 63, so I'm going to write that down there. And now I need to subtract. So I can't do 2 minus 3, so we're going to have to do some regrouping. So 7 minus 1 is 6, and this 2 will change into a 12 because it got 10 more. 12 minus 3 is 9, and 6 minus 6 is 0. So my answer is going to be 3, remainder 9. Again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm still going to be checking my answers for these problems. So I'm going to do 21 times 3, this number, times this one up top, and I get 63. And then I have to do 63 plus 9, and 63 plus 9 is 72. So I know I have the correct answer because this number matches this one up here. And that is how we solve this first problem. Let's take a look at the second problem. So this one I would like you to try it on your own, and then unpause the video and you can work along with me. So for this problem, we have 94 divided by 43. Again, if you need to, you can kind of multiply your facts, multiply this number and figure out like 43 times what can fit into 94, or get as close to 94 as we possibly can. So 43 times 1 equals 43. 43 times 2, well, 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 2 is 86. So 86 would actually work because it's less than 94. And if I were to, that would be way too. If you need to do these steps, you can still set up 43 times 2 like that in standard algorithm if that helps you get the correct answer as well. So I'm going to use this factor. So it says 43 times 2 is 86. And then we're going to go ahead and subtract. So again, you're going to need to do regrouping for this one. So I'm going to cross out the 4 because I can't do 4 minus 6. I'm going to cross out this 9 because I need to borrow, so that becomes an 8. And this 4 becomes a 14 because we add 10 more. So 14 minus 6 is 8, and then 8 minus 8 is just 0. So my answer is 2, remainder 8. We're still going to check our answers. So we're going to do 43 times 2 equals 86. And then 86 plus 8 equals 94. And I have my correct answer. Remember, if you have any questions, please make sure you're raising your hand. I know that sometimes the division can be difficult, but make sure you're working along with me, raising your hand if you have any questions, and fixing your mistakes if you make them. Go ahead and we're going to set up the next problem, and then I want you to pause the video, try it on your own, and then we will solve it. So the next problem is going to be 84 divided by 23. Go ahead and pause the video, try this one on your own, and then we'll work on it together. So for this one, again, I'm going to set up those facts off to the side. If doing the estimation step was easier for you, you can continue to do the estimation step, but I noticed that this step is a little bit easier for some of you. So I'm going to keep doing it this way. If you want to estimate, you can. So I have 23 times 1, which is 23. I can definitely do more than that. So I'm going to try 23 times 2. So 23 times 2, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4, where you can set up a standard algorithm like that to go ahead and solve it if you need to. I can still do more than 46 though, so I'm going to try 23 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6, so that's 69. And then I have 23 times 4, because maybe I could do some more. 3 times 4 is 12. This is one of those ones where you might want to do it off to the side in a standard algorithm. So that's 23 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So 92, this number would not work because it is bigger than 84. So we're not going to worry about 23 times 4. So that means that 23 times 3 is the only factor that's going to work for this problem. So I'm going to put this 3 up here. Remember, if you think about this as a multiplication problem, you know that 23 times 3 can fit into 84. And then 23 times 3 is 69. I'm going to go ahead and subtract. So I do 4 minus 9, which I can't do, so I have to borrow. That becomes a 7. This becomes a 14. And then I have 14 minus 9. So I'm going to do 9 plus, what is that, 5? Or sorry, 14 minus 9 is 5. And then 7 minus 6 is 1. So my answer is going to be 3, remainder 15. Now I need to check my answer. So I'm going to do 23 times 3, which is 69. And then I do 69 plus 15, which equals 84. For the adding part, if you ever need to like set it up as like a standard algorithm and set it up like this, so you can make sure you're getting your correct answer, you can also do that as well. All right, go ahead and erase what you have, and we're going to work on the very last problem. And remember, you're trying this on your own, and then you are fixing it. So for the last problem, we have 57 divided by 29. So 29 into 57. This should be a really quick, easy one for you, but if we need to think about it, we'll do 29 times 1, that equals 29. If I did 29 times 2, 9 times 2 is 18, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 48. And if I do 29 times 3, that would be way too big because 9 times 3 is 27. And then 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2, which is 8. So that would be 87. So that one would not work. After that, I know that this is my only factor that is going to work. So I'm going to think of this as a multiplication sentence. 29 times 2 can fit into 57. So I am going to write 29 times 2 is 48. So I'll put that right here. And then I need to subtract. Again, I need to regroup. So 7 minus 8 does not work. So I have to cross that out, borrow from this 5. That 5 becomes a 4. The 7 becomes a 17. And then I have to do 17 minus 8, which is 9. My answer is 2, remainder 9. I then need to multiply to check my answer. So I'm going to do 29 times 2, which is 48, and then 48 plus 9, which is 57, and I have my final answer. Again, if you have any questions about any of these problems, please make sure you're asking and raising your hands. Don't just leave it until the problem set or the homework set to ask for help. And then for your problem set today, so it's going to be a little bit different. So you're working on the lesson 20 problem set, and you're going to be doing B through F, which is just basically the whole first page. And then the back page, you're going to do problems 3 and 5. So you're not doing all the word problems, but you are doing some of them. So circle B through F, and then you're doing problems 3 and 5. Then for your homework tonight, please make sure you're circling this and putting in your backpack after you're done viewing this lesson and writing down your homework. You're also doing B through F, and then there's 2 word problems on the back. You'll be doing both of those word problems on the back of the worksheet. So make sure you're underlining the important information and then trying to solve those problems. Even if it's difficult, I still want you to try. You know for sure you're going to be dividing at some point, so keep that in mind as you're solving these problems that you're most likely going to have to divide to solve them. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask me, and good luck.